Hello class, welcome to the LODLC lecture series on ACT 315, the Nigerian economy. This is study session 5 with our topic being concepts of economic growth. Enjoy yourself as we go through the class together. By the end of this study session, you should be able to define economic growth. You should also be able to enumerate the reasons for the study of economic growth. You should know how economic growth is measured, and lastly, should be able to state the advantages and disadvantages of economic growth. To start with, what is economic growth? Economic growth is a term that almost everyone is familiar with, whether they even study economics or not, whether they did medicine, engineering, or whatsoever. Most people who use the term have a rough idea of what it means. But to an economist, it is a deeper and more concise meaning. To an economist, economic growth is the sustained increase in national income or the total output of all goods and services produced in an economy. It is an increase in the capacity of an economy to produce goods and services compared from one period of time to another period of time. Economic growth, according to Todaro and Smith in 2006, states that it is the steady process by which the productive capacity of the economy is increased over time to bring about rising level of national output and income. Why then do we need to study economic growth? Of what benefit is the study? To what use is the study of economic growth? The study of economic growth provides learners with both theoretical and empirical understanding of how different factors combine together to provide the right framework for a country's long-run growth. We also study economic growth for a country's long-run growth and for the purpose of how to know the use of existing resources efficiently, avoiding costly wastages, and invest in new ones. The study of economic growth is important for governments and other policy makers to take necessary steps in formulating growth-enhancing policies and to make amendments where it is necessary. Economic growth provides a necessary, although not sufficient, condition for the development of an economy. Well, without growth, there will be no development. So therefore, the study of growth is important to understand how a country can achieve development. So we say that economic growth is indeed important. Limitations of the GDP method. For an in-depth understanding of the limitations of the gross domestic product method in calculating economic growth, please visit your study pack. Advantages of economic growth. There are several advantages of economic growth to an economy. Of all these available advantages, we'll be considering just but 4. 1 is the higher living standard. 2, employment opportunities. 3, lower government borrowing. 4, environmental protection. When we say higher living standard, what do we mean? Since growth means a sustainable increase in the total output of goods and services produced in a country, consumers are able to enjoy more goods and services, increased income, and a general improvement in living standard. Employment opportunities. Growth stimulates more job in an economy, and this would address the issue of unemployment. 3. Lower government borrowing. Economic growth boosts tax revenue and provides the government with extra money to improve on public services such as education and healthcare services. It helps to reduce government borrowing and makes it easier for a government to reduce the size of its budget deficits. Environmental protection. Growth can also help provide the funds to protect the environment, such as low carbon investments, innovation and research, as well as development. In the use of more efficient and environmental friendly production processes, countries with higher growth rates can afford the luxury of protecting their environment. Now, we have seen the advantages of economic growth. What then is the disadvantage? What disadvantage does economic growth poses to us as citizens of a nation? The disadvantages of economic growth will also limit ourselves to 4. 1. Increased working hours. 2. Environmental issues. 3. Inadequate inequalities. 4. Risk of inflation. When we talk about increased and increasing working hours, sometimes there are fears that the fast-growing economy places increasing demand on the hours that people who work will use, and this can upset the work-life balance. 2. Environmental issues. A fast-growing economy can put pressure on the environment in terms of depletion of the non-renewable natural resources and damage caused by industrial and economic activities on the environment, e.g. air, water, and even noise pollution. Inequalities. Not all of the benefits of economic growth are evenly distributed. There could be a rise in national output, but also growing income and wealth inequality in the society. There could also be regional differences in the distribution of rising income and spendings. Risk of inflation. If the economy grows too quickly, there is a danger of inflation, as spending would likely grow faster than the production. This means that the demand races ahead of the ability of the economy to supply goods and services. Producers then take advantage of this by rising prices of their goods and services. Well, we have come to the end of the 5th study session of ACT 315, the Nigerian economy. I hope you found the study session great and interesting, and I hope to see you some other time. Thank you for listening, and bye for now. Bye.